live. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. If you could hit that like button and share this on social media, it would really help push us through the analytics and help us push through the algorithm. It does help this community grow. And if you're watching the content and you appreciate what I do, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as we're over 19,000 subscribers as we push towards 20,000. So until we get closer to 20,000, I'll just say 19,000 plus. So I thank everybody who's tuning in. And let's see. Nobody, let's go, Casper, he says. David, what's up, Tom? What's going on, David? Not a whole lot. Just I've been reading through the BUSD news, so we're gonna go through that all together. Jason says, I'm not driving now, or I'm driving now, I can listen and text. Oh, I gotcha. Oh, you're not driving now, I can listen and text. Well, good. It's good that you're not behind the wheel now. Harvey, good evening. The Stranger, Axis, Matt Holden, welcome in. Rob, good afternoon to you, my friend. Puentes, mama, there goes that man again. This man doesn't miss. Well, I do try to stay ahead and stay on top of things. Otherwise, how are we going to know which way is up and down? John Hall, good evening, my friend. I'm glad to see you in here this evening. 396 unlocked XRP to $1 beginning of December. You never know. You never know. I don't know if it's going to be there by in the beginning of December, but I could see us pushing 85 cents. Now it looks like we have a target on our back of December 15th. So hopefully, on my 40th birthday on December 17th, it's not going to be a collapse of sorts. Jeffrey, welcome in. JW, good evening. I'm glad to see you in here as well. Silverhawk, welcome in. Long-time mod in the channel. One of the first I ever made. It is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. But let me timestamp this real quickly. Good evening. 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. I went to go take a drink of water, and I don't have any water. And I was thinking I need to go get water. So hold on just one sec. One sec. Please hit that like button in my absence. Normally I have my water ready, Julie. See, I'm slacking.
That's okay.
Sorry if I need to get it ready before it gets real far.
Careful.
I just tripped over something. But thank you everybody for tuning in. I do appreciate it. We do have some stuff to talk about with BUSD. I don't know how many people have seen it. BUSD is going to lose support by Binance on December 15th, which I don't think anybody thinks this is a surprise after what happened with the $4.5 billion judgment that they have to pay back and yada, yada, yada. Xiaobing, resigning. It's a big nightmare, but we're going to get into that. And then we're going to get into XRP after, but I want to cover how many people have seen this? How many of you have seen what is happening right now? 60 people in here already. Thank you so much for tuning in. Only 26 likes. Please hit that like button to help push this through the analytics. Without the likes, nobody's going to see this. I suppose if you don't want to hit the like button or share, you could always send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's army. But other than that, let's see. Can we go over Casper? We can. Not as good as you think, John, unfortunately. So Binance, I think this is interesting. But what does this mean for crypto? Honestly, what does this mean for crypto? Or Jeffrey, not as good as you would think, actually, I mean. Terry, good evening, welcome in. Allflow, welcome in. Mine says 1.4 thousand likes for some reason. Oh, yeah. It does, but unfortunately that's not true. When I was doing my update this morning for an hour and a half, it showed on my end that I had one view. Even though I had 136 likes and one view, supposedly. So it's a funky thing that YouTube number jumbo. But Binance ending support of BUSD stablecoin in December. Whereas XRP at 609 right now as we get close to the daily close at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in 17 minutes. We want it to be above 608 at worst. At worst. I'm not watching this one now if it's going to just keep advertising to me. Miss Vicky, welcome in, love. I'm glad to see you in here this evening. As always. So Binance to delist and end support for its BUSD stablecoin. I mean, how many of us didn't? I mean, I don't know how long ago it was that we talked about this, but now it's coming to fruition here. It was just a matter of time. So even BNB, the Binance token, I can't imagine that it's not. I don't think it's gonna end very well for the Binance, the BNB token. So let's see what this says. Cryptocurrency exchange giant Binance announced that it will officially cease support for the BUSD stablecoin by December 15th. The announcement comes amid growing regulatory pressure on the asset's issuer Paxos. In a blog post, Binance advised users to withdraw or convert any BUSD holdings into alternative cryptocurrencies. In addition, it touted conversion to its own FDUSD stablecoin as an option at a 1-to-1 ratio with no trading fees. I wonder why that they would convert it to their own stablecoin. You think because there's not enough liquidity to cash everybody out? I mean, I'm asking an honest question. No trading fee if you convert it to their other stablecoin. I mean, would you trust putting your BUSD into that one FDUSD? I mean, at least there's liquidity there, so maybe it wouldn't be as bad of a crash because it's fake liquidity just like with BUSD, but that doesn't seem on the up and up. I don't understand how they could still have their own stablecoin if they're getting rid of their own stablecoin. See what's happening? I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me. So, let's see. Paxos faced trouble from the New York department. Actually, this is pretty interesting if you actually understand what this means for crypto. If we have an FDUSD that the money can sit in, what happens after that? So you can withdraw up until December 31st. So let's see what this says. The wind down marks continued fallout from the New York Department of Financial Services ordering Paxos to stop minting BUSD. In February, over undisclosed concerns, the exchange will disable withdrawals by December 31st and automatically shift all remaining customers' balance into FTUSD without additional fees. The Binance announcement clarified that BUSD assets can still be deposited and manually swapped for SDUSD until further notice, despite other functionality ending. In addition, the 1-to-1 conversion ensures stable value is preserved without disruption for customers caught in the shuffle. A separate notification will confirm that completion of that process. Users will be able to redeem leftover BUSD for dollars until at least February of 24, based on Paxos continuity pledge. Yeah, but if everybody's coming out of it, if they got to dump all this liquidity and they've got to pay it out, I don't know about you and I, but this doesn't. I wish I had this. Oops, I clicked on the marijuana thing. But I mean, I don't know how this is going to end. This doesn't look like it ends well. The U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission filed charges against Binance for offering unregistered crypto derivative products to American customers. And this is the other thing. By the CFTC being involved in this, don't they acknowledge that the SEC has no control? So why is XRP and Ripple still going to trial? Why is that not solved? That should have been closed immediately once the CFTC stepped in. Because if it wasn't the CTFC pressing Ripple, what oversight does the SEC really have? Think about it. If the Securities and Exchange Commission doesn't oversee this matter, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So that's just, if you start looking at all of this from the outer, it's like, I don't think everything's quite what they want us to believe. So based on the CFTC doing this, I think that it's acknowledging that there's nothing to be had with Ripple, and going forward, if you're caught up with the SEC, you can point to this. Hey, if there's something wrong with our product, then how about the CFTC comes after us, not the SEC? Simple as that. So I think that's going to be a defense going forward, I think. And I also think it's why they don't want a jury trial. But you never know. If Ripple settles, I don't think it's in their best interest, because what about everything else on the XRP ledger? Everybody's like, well, what if they get it down to a couple 100,000? You don't want to acknowledge any guilt, period. What happens to the company that doesn't have as much money? So if they're trying to get this, are they any close? No. As of right now, no. We've still got to wait till April, unfortunately. April is when they can do their back and forth, yada, yada, yada. Nothing to see here, nothing to see there. And then we'll hear about it after. But up until then, unless we hear something else, I don't really see a way out of this. And if we get a settlement, it's just going to make it worse. Not for XRP, just like that's the good thing. Not for XRP. Remember, Algo's on the chopping block. A few others that you've already seen are on the chopping block if this happens. The best thing that would happen is XRP and XLM would be off scot-free. And everybody always acts like XLM's not part of this. They sure are by association. If you don't think they're going after Jed McHale just as much, I mean, I think a lot of people are missing the boat. So, Felix, yes, I hope so as well. I feel like our community's super blessed just because of everything that we've uncovered together. So let's look at XRP. I know a lot of you are asking about it. So XRP, 10 minutes until the daily close. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. I'm sorry. I've been trying to avoid this, but you know how it gets you. We're in the cold weather.
Tissues are by the printer.
Well, Julie, that's what they get watching us in the cold weather now. Summer times were good, winter times were not. All right, so XRP going into the daily close, we got about 10 minutes. It's at 6096. Market cap's only lost about 43 million, so it's been pretty flat. We're looking to stay at least over the 608 mark. It's pretty important. Whew. Man, all this back and forth. It's important because the 200-day, we don't want to fall below it. Don't want to fall below it. If we lose that 608, if we look in the, let's see, we're in the 4-hourly here, we'll end up with the death cross. And the death cross is when the 20-day comes through, not just the 50 and 100, but ultimately the 200, which is the longer term. So you have the short buyers and the long buyers basically not seeing a value in buying the asset. And that's a good way to look at it. And then anybody who was holding it from 200 days out and then all the way into 20 days, they would all say, nope, I'm not holding, I'm just going to sell it and then buy it cheaper. That's what you run the risk of if it falls down. And then if it loses this area and the death cross starts, you would know. You would know because you're going to lose this uptrending support rate here. It's at about that 60 cent. So if you see it below 60 cents and we get rejected, then you start running the risk of coming down here, which is right around that 557 mark. And that's at the end of November, but excuse me. If it takes a little bit longer, it could be in the beginning of December, but we don't want to see a breakdown like that. We want to see this use this inverted left arm, head, inverted right shoulder, and arm. And then if it bounces off here, you first layer, you break up, get over the 633, and then ultimately break over the 668 or 648. And then we can try to make a move. We could try to make a move. And it's in our best interest to do it now, so we can see what the ramifications are with the BUSD. But with XRP, let's face it. We all know we're within and it sucks every single month, but because we hold XRP, we have the 1 billion coming out of escrow every single month. So what do we think the impact of this is going to be for this month? Honestly, do we think we're going to consolidate? Or do you think we're going to push up before December 1st? And then it's going to come consolidate back down on one of those levels we talked about. Honestly, I'm just honest question. Do we think it's going to go up first, or do we think we'll continue consolidating down with the 1 billion release? It doesn't mean we're going to go back down any farther. It just means we're going to have a little bit of period of volatility. Oh, it impacts it momentarily. Sometimes, see, the problem is when you put that much liquidity into the market, one way or the other, Depends which, if you hit it on a short streak, you know, it could end up opening a lot of those short positions or liquidating people. But a lot of times, as I've noticed, it goes up right before the release and then the consolidate. Let's say it has a 5 to 7% rally right before. Then on release, it usually comes right back down to even where it started. And I think I talk about this every single month. We'll have a 5 or 7% move, and then all of a sudden the consolidation just brings you back down, and people are like, see, XRP dumped $1 billion and the price can't even hold it, when really it's just a normal consolidation, and then it just moves up. Or it continues to move it was doing anyhow. So, I wonder if anybody's talking about this at all. Probably not. Somebody should. No, they'll wait until after, but just in case you don't know what it is, Ripple, the renowned blockchain-based payment protocol, is unlocked. Another $1 billion that was back on November. Now we're going to do the same thing on December and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, I'll share more about that when it happens. Just to see, because I like to see how many different withdrawals or how many different transfers there's been from Ripple, and see how many different ones, and then I like to see how many get locked back up into escrow. Usually about 70% of it gets locked back up, so 1 billion gets released, 700 million ends up getting locked back. But it sucks right now for crypto because it's stuck in this wide consolidation, and if it goes up like I'm showing like that, it's good. If it takes the other way, it's not going to be so pretty to end the year. This is our last. If you want this to go up, this is literally the make it or break it point. We need it to play out as an inverted right arm. Anything less than that, it's going to be a very, very, very slippery slope very quickly. I would love to see it play out to the top side, though. XRP's due for a little bit of a rally here. And I'll keep pointing to where I circled there, only because, and it sounds like a broken record, but sometimes you have to be. We started this pattern when we went to all-time highs in January of 18. We started this convergence. We had the new support started down here in March of 2020. We hit it again here in December of 2020. After the lawsuit was announced, and we had this mini bear market rally. Guess some could say bull market, even though we were half as high as the all-time high. So I'm not sure that counts to the real bull market for XRP. But nonetheless, I won't argue with you if that's what you want to call it. And then in 22, we came back down after that rally, and we still held that uptrend. So that uptrend held in 20, twice in 2020, early and late 2020 after the lawsuit. Held in 22 after the parabolic spike by XRP up to $1.98. Came back down and held the 23 up, that same uptrend in 23. And yeah, we haven't come back and hit that downtrending resistance a third time. We hit it a second time over here for resistance in 2021. Didn't hit it here. It looks like even if we got rejected, we'd have a date right here with about 85 cents. And I'll continue to stick to it because that's what it looks like it's trying to build. It looks like it's got, since July, a cup and handle forming. And it's putting in the bullish handle right now if I was a betting man. You know, it's got that falling channel. And now it's breaking out of the falling channel into its own, like, sideways channel. And eventually, it's going to give one way or the other. And when it does, it's going to be pretty fun to watch because this is, I think it's going to be interesting the way this pattern, and I'm not going to draw it out on this one because that's just for the chart, but I could draw it out and it's just going to look like that. You could draw it the opposite way, which is why I put both of them in there, just so if you want to argue with it, sure, but it's still in the same downward channel. So does that make sense? Bitcoin's at 37,843 here. That's only 3 minutes until the daily close now, but Bitcoin, again, it's under 38,000. It doesn't look like it's going to close at 37,980. There is a hammer candle here. It's not the most bullish of hammer candles that I've ever seen, but it is a hammer candle nonetheless, so it could give it opportunity to continue moving up. I know, Terry, that is going to be a problem. That's exactly. It's funny, but that's true, Terry, because it doesn't seem like there's the upward momentum, which probably means that they spike it upwards. It sounds so dumb to say it, doesn't? I mean, but it's true. I know exactly what you're saying. It looks like it could break down at any moment. It looks like even with Bitcoin, this dot cross is just moments away. But then when you start looking at it, I can see an inverted head and shoulders there. If it breaks down, so be it. But I can see it there. I mean, I'd be killing it. It's possible. The later you get into 24, the less, I mean, the fact that Bitcoin sold almost 38,000. But you'd have some ways to come down. And even if you break this broadening wedge, your next big target. But look at that. That was a big bull flag that is now playing up. Typically, these are bullish continuations. Now, it's in a rising channel, though. So those can reverse down if it doesn't break. That's why if it doesn't get on top of 37,980 and you see it come down here, if you see it get below 34,800, let's say, you better get ready to duck because it's going to come all the way down to 27K area. A little bit lower, but it's going to come down there. It won't have a choice. Same time, though, if it can hold this support, it should come all the way up here to 40. What is that? 42,663. So it's hard. It's hard to say, is it going to go down or up? But we've put a very bullish pattern here for Bitcoin up until now. And right now, we had the first layer cup and handle. But what we're working on is to try to complete the cup and handle, which we just came up to for this part of the tier. But look, the ultimate top, we've not come to yet. This is 2 of 3 tiers. So whenever I do this, just try to follow me. 1 goes up to the second tier. And now you got up here is the third tier. So you build the handle on each of them. Build the handle. Is it going to build the handle back down? Or is it already suffice? A lot of times it likes to build it back down, so we need to see. But ultimately, this cup and handle, we're not done yet. Jose, welcome in. And thank you for the $9.99 donation. Thank you so much for that first donation of the night. How kind. You should know who Jose is. He always says, watch, recycle, repeat. And that means watch the content, recycle it to friends and family, and come back and watch the next update. Just a little something I like to say. But that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Bitcoin needs a close at some point on the daily. Bill, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a good evening. Chat, hi Tom. Why is Solo moving on XRP not? Solo usually follows. Well, Solo has just about 500 million circulating supply. So if it gets any kind of positive momentum, it takes a lot less liquidity to move it. So you get more sudden movements. That's what I was trying to explain to everybody when we were doing the FOMO Fridays and Winning Wednesdays. That's why we decided to buy some. And because it's on the XRP ledger. That and Corium. But not everything is tied to XRP. Solo is going to move a heck of a lot faster once XRP gets in a bull market. Everybody's going to be like, what the hell? But there's less liquidity involved. You don't need as much. To move it 1 cent, you need $500 million. To move XRP 1 cent, you need $54 billion. It's a big difference. Yes, Terry, I have learned don't bet against TA. Emotion conviction has nothing to do with never. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. And like, if you look at this, Terry, it's so boring right now because it is the broadening wedge. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But if you actually look at this, you see the short-term pattern, right? And you see how it's riding. Well, you'd have some people that might just say, you know, Tom, you do have the bottom part. What if it got rejected like that? And is it just fitting a much wider pattern here? And does that mean... And this is where I speculate, everybody. You can tell me if I'm fully horse, you know what. But what if it did break down and this was resistance, support, median, back up to the top instead of just, now we're making a new top, right? What if that happens? Then we'd be down at 20,005. What's so funny, Julie? Because I said horse manure. Well, it's better than swearing, isn't it? I always say it in a funny... See, when I don't swear, Julie always laughs at me when I say weird words. But I do. I sometimes don't swear and I'll just say... But, what can I say? Now she's making me laugh. But what if does that look like it could be the pattern? I mean, what if that's what's forming? Could you imagine? Then I'd really get kicked in the grotesques, Julie. If it fell that far. You know what happened to XRP?
You're gonna kill me.
But I mean, could that be what's happening here? I hope I'm just over speculating this. It is the Lewis line. Lewis! Tom, there's been a lot of.
Sounded weird.
It did. It sounded like the fire truck was.
Their horn.
Yeah. That's how Bob became, for anybody who doesn't know, with the Lewis lines. But Lewis, Tom, you do a great job, boss. But the lines go between the support. Your support lines go between your support and resistance, the price trend line. Yes, Lewis, they do. Well, because the broadening wedge. Great TA, Tom, but you know that price action will break those lines. Thank you, Lewis. That's how we know if it's support, Lewis, or resistance, Lewis. I miss those days sometimes. But, I mean, I'm asking a serious question, and we'll go back to XRP, because I do want to look at that chart. Is there any chance that Bitcoin, if it gets rejected here, we just have a wider version of what we started out with? And just think about it. It's not as crazy as it looks. What if Bitcoin is doing something like that? If it is, it's going to be a much bigger breakout than I even anticipated if it did one thing right. If Bitcoin did this, because now we can actually measure this. What if Bitcoin, resistance, support, consolidation, resistance? What if this, yes, it created this just inside a much bigger one, but what if it, boom, 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 but what if it breaks out and holds? That is if it ever does that, and now that we have that established, if it breaks out of that and breaks above, look out. Where is that even up to? Yeah, okay, so that's how you would get back up here. So let's just pay attention to this. I'm just going to pay attention to this just in case. I didn't want to say it, Tom, but I can see it happen. I know, me too. It all depends how this happens now. And now I can see why we could get some converging here in the resistance. It's all right, free toast. Better late than never.
Free toast.
Chat, I think Bitcoin and XRP doing something. I do too. And I'm trying to figure it out exactly from a wider angle with Bitcoin. And I decided to expand it. I've been looking at this the last few days while we've been live, and I just decided, you know what? What if we did run it through here? And I don't even need to go down as low as I did. What if we just do it like this? And we hit these resistance points, because now we can meet it in multiple areas. I mean, what if that is what's going on here? Now it's a problem. I mean, there's a problem here. If we come down, we already knew there was a problem, but that means this wouldn't even hold at 26.8. We would definitely have a date down here. I mean, look at this. A broadening wedge, each successive hit is hit wider. So we thought for sure this was the broadening wedge. We knew it when everybody said it was a bull flag. Resistance support, breaks through, hit that perfectly, comes back through. You know, that's the broadening wedge. But what if it really started here at support, resistance, support, resistance for a second time? I mean, look at this. And then down to support. If that happens, we don't want that. Oh, no. If that happens, I mean, oh, boy. That would be the ultimate. Just, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe we're in a wide broadening wedge, and even, think about it this way. A broadening wedge is known to be a continuation. It is. And not being able to withdraw XRP from Binance is always a sign. It sure is. And this is that's why I keep saying with this BUSD news, this is a problem. We might have to pay attention to this, and we might have to get our thinking caps on here. If there's a situation where we do pump here, and we know that there's going to be a big rug pull, let's just say we do go to 35, 40, 50, okay, 50K, you say. Let's say by some miracle we go to 50K. If we go to 50K and it happens, let's just, I can't even say that with a straight face. Let's say we go to 42,663 before December 15th. And we see a massive pattern forming where we go resistance, support, resistance, break above, hit, come back down, use it as resistance. And we know we've got to drop all the way to the bottom of the broadening wedge in the pattern if it plays true. I can't say that I won't consider dumping all of my holdings if we're anticipating a 50% drop. I'm just going to be transparent with anybody. I like the accumulation phase, but I'm also not an asshole. And I'm also not just going to give away my money. And at that point, if we have a rally like that, we'll see. But if XRP's at 85 cents, but I don't want to sell. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to sell if I don't have to. Because with everything that's going on, the closer to 24 and then ultimately 25 and then in the 20, like these are the accumulation phase, but this would be a nightmare scenario unfolding. Let's keep that in the back of our head. And I don't want to scare anybody away, but keep this in the back of your head. If this really is a broadening wedge playing out, even if we're going into a bull market in 25, look what happens in 24 in March. That could happen. But look, that's the thing. Because everybody says a big liquidity-like event. Boom. So now it doesn't want to draw. I see how it is. So, now it's not drawing. Can you? I forgot to take that off. But imagine it does this, comes down, holds the wedge. Then you would have a big bull run probably starting. But I don't want it to have to do that. I'd rather it do this, come up, hold this, and then let's make our decision. I would hope that it would give us the chance at 42,663. The way this looks, if it's in a channel, it's going to keep doing this. Resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. I can almost build it up for you just like that. And then it would ultimately, if that's how it is, it'd be a bearish reversal. If it just continues that, if it continues that rising channel, that is not good. But we're trying to break out of a bull flag, but the way it's doing it is not, it doesn't make you sleep well at night when you see it start doing this. You don't want to see this channel forming, especially when we can diagnose a broadening wedge, a much larger one as it turns out. I don't even want to talk about this the last couple of days, but in this consolidation, it's made me now. It given me no choice. I gave it so many chances, and I've been pointing at 37,980. Just get above that, and nothing else matters. Hold it, and we're out. 38,000, let's go. But it can't. We keep getting rejected here for a reason, and now it's becoming glaringly obvious that now we must pay attention to this much wider. It's almost like a crocodile eating a smaller crocodile. That's what's going on here. Everybody's focused on the micro of the very short term. But what happens if the wider pattern makes me uncomfortable? We're all focused on this, but now this comes into play because of the validation of this. Without this was our prized possession. Now it becomes this, and uh-oh. Now if we break up, we can celebrate. If we break out of this, just remember, and you guys are going to be like, oh my God, this could be a nightmare. You can go the length. Some of you are going to be sick to your stomachs if it actually plays out like this. But I mean, some people have been known, not me, because I would rather do it the other way. But, they'll measure it like such, and they'll just be like, oh, it's going to be a big drop, whatever. They'll try to line it up. But look at the size of this wedge. So if we want to go from basically the width, I mean, we know for sure it's come here, resistance, and here. It's way up here. I mean, do we really want to experience a drop like that and go from the top of that wedge to the bottom? I don't think so. Absolutely, Terry. And the scariest part about that with the banks is because of Obama back in 08 or 2011, how we had the bailouts. Now they're the bail-in. So if you have money in the bank, let's say it's determined that 5% needs to be paid to the bank to keep them open, they will take 5% of your money that's in the bank if there's a 5% flat tax. I'm just telling everybody. That's why I don't trust the banks. I'm my own central bank, and I put most of my money into precious metals. That's why. And the more likely we'll hit that scenario is the more they expand the money supply. And now the Fed not being able to be taxed, don't you think there's a reason for that? XRP did end on that daily, the long leg doji, like I was hoping. Long leg doji does signal could be a reversal, as this was a downtrend on these last couple candles. Now we need to hold this uptrend. We closed above 608, it looks like, very nicely at least. So we did what we needed to do. And now we just need to hold this uptrending support here and start breaking back up. We do not want to start breaking down in the 4-hourly now. Unless it comes down here to just hold. But we really would like to use this as the new support. Like, we really would like to use it. I can understand we're probably going to come down to 604 in short order. If it does decide to have a wick down. But we do have these bearish candles. It does look like it's as a reversal candle. So let's see if we can get some strength on. Maybe use this as a little bull flag here and go bull flaggy. A lot of bottom side wicks, which is good. Not a lot of sell pressure. Now we just need some buy pressure. We really need some buy pressure. Somebody asked about solo as we're getting more towards the end of this live. I'm surprised we got over 100 people in this live. If you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe as we're over 19,000 subscribers, pushing towards 20,000. I didn't even think we'd have this ahead of us in 2023. I thought sometime in 24 we'd be talking about 20,000. So it's kind of nice talking about it, but we're over 19,000. So if you're watching, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button. We could have a back test Aussie at 54 cents. We really could. Yeah, smash that like button like Puente says. Dan, ETF is coming. I can't believe that size of a drop is going to. I know. That's the thing. I don't want to believe that either. But what better way if they flush out everybody for liquidity right before the ETF? Just imagine. That would be a whole lot of liquidity for a whole big move up. But nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see that. But I'm just saying I'm gonna stay out ahead of that broadening wedge, and we're gonna see what happens. And we'll be the first to know if it's gonna backfire here. We'll be the first to know. And you would have that first chance but even that first chance down to 26,000, that's a hell of a long way to hold from where we're at right now. That's over 10,000. So we need to see. We'll take a look at Casper in just a second. I just wanted to answer this question about Solo. And Solo has actually been having some nice moves the last few hours. And we bought Solo, I thought, at a really good spot. We bought it we bought it in this structure. Remember, everybody? We're buying it in this structure, nothing more. I'm sorry, I apologize. Only got 5,000 tokens out of my 10,000, but it broke the structure. I'm happy with 5,000 of them and Corium. I really am. It's much more than I thought I was going to have, and I can't have 10,000 of everything. I know you don't sleep. Do you ever look at Asian? Oh, I do look at Asian markets. I do. That's why I keep on Bloomberg at night in the background without the volume. I have it just like this. It's funny. I don't turn the volume on because I don't like listening to their nonsense. But I like seeing the charts, and it shows all the good stuff. Peter Pan, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Thank you, really. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Cryptic, thank you, Peter Pan, seriously, for paying it forward. I'm not participating in the airdrop. I don't participate in many of them. Unless it's automatically given to my exchange with something I'm holding. I don't go out of my way to go participate somewhere else. So Sologenic. In the 4-hourly, we can see a nice little breakout here. Where's my volume? My volume disappeared. TradingView really likes to, you see how TradingView treats me, Julie? You think they treat me better. They don't. TradingView doesn't like me. It's alright, I'll just put it back on. Allegedly. But I mean, Solo is breaking out. I wish we could see the volume. Oh, TradingView. Just doesn't want to put it back on, huh? Well, I guess we don't get no volume today on TradingView. TradingView's being weird. Come on, TradingView. Show me my volume. What is this automatic harmonic BS? Going on, TradingView. Oh, it's got it deleted out. Look at this. No volume data. What is this? So Solo's just not showing the volume, huh? Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, well, that's okay. Although I wish I wouldn't have pulled this garbage on here, so now I got to take this off. There we go. Simple, simple, simple. So we'll look at Solo. I mean, it doesn't have the volume for some reason, apparently. But Solo is breaking out. I wonder if it'll show me like this. No. For some reason, the volume's not working on it. Can you believe that? Good job, TradingView, and you want me to pay for this. Beautiful candle, engulfing candle here in the daily. We're looking to just hold that 12-cent mark, 12.08. And we're going to be off to the races here a little bit more. We could, if we have a golden cross here, we should, every bit of retesting this and ultimately coming up to the top of this formation. It's long overdue. It's almost like this is what XRP was doing. Just think about it. XRP, except it didn't form just a strict bear flag like it does in here. But XRP has a descending channel. This is a much bigger one than we had. Formed a bear flag, broke out of it. Nice consolidation. You can see the bear or the bull flag now set up. Let me draw it in for everybody just so you can see. Well, I mean, it's up to your own interpretation, obviously, but this is what I see when I look at it. I am not a financial advisor, so you're just listening to some guy on YouTube. Remember that. Right, Julie? That looks so bad.
Some guy who knows his shit.
Be that as it may, Julie. Be that as it may. Some people, you know, they sued some people and some other people don't want to be sued. So they say allegedly. We are not financial advisors. We give our opinion. So that's what you're looking at for Solo. If Solo could break out of this, it'd be off to the races. You'd have it'd be a nice move up to like 18 cents. So that's what you're looking at. A breakdown would directly bring you back here to retest this long overdue breakout of that bear flag. So just remember that. Just remember that. I've had a lot of people ask me lots of questions tonight. Don't ever hesitate to send a YouTube super chat if you appreciate my work, because don't kid yourself, it is a lot of work to keep up on all of this. But I do it with a smile sometimes. What do I do it sometimes with a smile.
Most of the time.
That's true, most of the time. Sometimes Bob comes out. I don't know. Who said Casper's starting to break out? It's got a chance. It has an inverted hammer here. It's got some nice successive candles. This is basically your breakout attempt here. If we can get on top of the 200 and hold, this would push up pretty nicely. Who was saying this? You're on the money because it's breaking out of that descending formation. It's already started to break out of it, actually. That's a tough one, though, because if you're going from wicks, we could go higher. But if you're going from the actual formation, you have to figure out a way to cut some of the areas off and see the leveling point. And I think this is exactly what we're trying to break out of right now. So, yeah, whoever said this for Casper, it absolutely is trying to break out as we speak. Look at that. Who said that? Are you still in the audience? Just out of curiosity. Because we are 100% on a breakout attempt right now. We're trying to hold this pattern breakout. So if we hold that 332 area, I mean, that's trying to break out of this little formation, and it should send us up to like 3.9. What are different ways to buy an uphold? I have Chase Bank, and they do not allow crypto purchases with their debit cards. Well, when I used to be on uphold, well, I'm on uphold, but when I used to have to put money in on uphold, I haven't had to put money on in a long time. Just good trades in 21, and it's allowed me to just kind of float in crypto for a while. But when I was putting money on, I would use a credit card so I could get points for it. It lets you do $500 a week. And, or no, what was it, Julie? 500 a day or a week? I can't remember. I don't either. It was a pain, though, because it only lets you do, I think it was $500 a day. But I would put it on the credit card when I was doing it. So, that's how I'd put it on. I don't know. It's very hard to do anything with Chase now. Chase, I have Chase as well with some of my stuff, especially credit cards, because if I'm going to put money on something, I like Chase to have the debt. This makes me feel better. And then if I never pay him back, I'll just say, oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'm going to have to file bankruptcy. My bad. Sorry, Chase. So one day I'm going to go out on a big hurrah with Chase. I know it. It's just not yet. I don't have everything I need with my credit yet. So that's Casper. Casper could be momentarily getting ready for a breakout. I see the person who was here didn't want to acknowledge who they were. And then somebody said, we can look at Algo. Oh, trading with J-Ride said it. Oh, there you are. So hopefully that helped. But yeah, you're dead on the money, J-Ride. Because it's definitely breaking out of the formation as we speak. It already just broke topside, and now it's looking for support. We're looking for the continuation on H-bar as well. A lot of these cryptos look like they're getting ready for a soft move up. But what comes after that? Like, are we doing a pump and dump? That was my question that I put in my title. But yeah, this is still what we're waiting for H-bar. Still trying to get up to this next layer. It's already done a nice recovery here. Hit the support. Now, as long as we hold that 573, we can be looking for a move up to 672. And then let's do a couple of these real quick. DGB is still trying to confirm this move up, but now it's got a death cross in the 4-hourly. So this is what I was talking about with XRP. They're both similar. They're trying to hold off a death cross. At the same time, look like they're putting in massive bullish reversal. Look at this W that could be forming with DGB on a downtrending, descending channel. If this does happen and we hold this 747, I still think DGB is long overdue for a move up to that 1079. It looks crazy right now, and it looked even crazier when I said it at 006 whatever. But it did go up to 89. Now we're consolidating in between the two pivot points. If it holds it, that's what we need. We need to hold this to confirm the move. And if it does, we could be looking at a massive move for DGB. If not, you come back to that breakout point, and it would just be a quick reverse back down. And that's what we have to watch for a lot of these. Same thing with XLM. It's caught just like XRP. It's still got a chance. It looks like it's a little bull flaggy. Looks like we're trying to make a V-shaped recovery, but we can't afford to get cut off here. We need to not only get above 12 cents. That's your first layer where you're feeling better. We need to get up over here. If we can hold off the 12 cents, technically, it should spring us up. And if you can break out of this instead of breaking down to 8.7, we should have a pretty big movement. So look at the descending channel we're breaking out of. It's just like XRP. Except it's the wicks. Everybody gets thrown off by the wicks. If you take the wicks off, that was a nice descending channel or descending structure. Depending on how you draw it, I have it at the wick point. But if you take it out of the wick point, it's in a channel. This was just an easier way to put it, because you can see how easily it is to see the breakout or the breakdown. So, and then Algo, somebody said, and then I'm probably going to bail because my voice is getting tired, and I think we've covered a lot here tonight. Algo has been much on a breakout. We bought 7,800, just over 7,800 as a community on FOMO Fridays. We bought it in this structure, and I said I wasn't buying it once it came out of the rotation, and now it has. And it's very quickly come up here. I think it's getting ready for a move. And it might come up to 21, 22 cents. It was so overdropped. Like, the floor fell out of it when the SEC said that they were going to, and that it was a security, and they were going to basically put it under the ringer like XRP is what most took from it. And it collapsed. I agree with everything except Bitcoin. Oh, you mean like what I covered? Or what you should buy. But right now, Algo is looking to hold the 200-day here in the daily. And if it does, big move to come. Big move. Somewhere around 20 cents would be the next move, more than likely. I mean, it's going to be a big one. I don't know if it's going to be like Algo, but typically Algo and IOTA run almost a mano-a-mano. The fact that Algo is 100% move away now after its big rally. I told everybody about the big run that it was about to have with IOTA. I mean, I even put that in for everybody so you could see the top end potential before it ran. But we have the resistance that we said if it breaks out of this, it's coming up here. There's nothing in between. It was so beaten down. And I just wish I could have bought it because it would have been number one on my list on FOMO Fridays. It's just where I live. It makes it very hard. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this, please make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and join the over 19,000 subscribers. If you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, video description below. There's a few exchanges that I use, and you should too because of cheaper spot fees and yada, yada, yada. JW said, thank you, Jules, for sharing Tom. And if you want to send a donation, YouTube Super Chat, or join Tom's Army, I would greatly appreciate that. Dancing Jesus, welcome in. He's been in Tom's Army for over 2 years. One of the longest subscribers, and he says, I think a pump and dump will happen, to be honest. That's what I'm starting to look at right now. I really am. Silverhawk, have a good evening. Everybody have a good evening. Thank you all so much. God bless you all as well. Be kind to each other, and let's pay very close attention to that, what could be expanding, broadening wedge right now in Bitcoin. And let's pay attention to a possible pump and dump that could be transcending here. It's starting to build with what we know about BUSD on December 15th, as they're going to delist it and it's going to cease to exist. Have a good night, everybody, and thank you for